Oh boy, and Havertz did well for himself in the previous series, but now he's switching to his main race, and now he's going up against one of the favorites to make a deep run in the tournament. Oh boy, it's not going to be easy. Let's see what he can bring to the table. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Leylines, we have our blue Protoss player. We have our blue Protoss himself, representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg player himself, representing insane master killers from the land of Bolivia. It is Havertz. We go. Our ZVP has begun, and if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Havertz now switching to his main race. This is where he is at his strongest. At the same time, though, Shameless, he is coming in as one of the stronger players in Europe, one of the stronger Protoss players in Europe. I should emphasize Shameless. He's relatively new to the scene. He did hit the pro scene, I want to say, beginning of 2024. So has been active for over a year at this point, but has excelled and has kind of shot up in those Protoss rankings in Europe quite heavily. And nowadays, yeah, he is a grinder. He does compete in a lot of tournaments, and we'll see. We'll see how far he can go. Oh boy, this will be another big challenge here for Havertz. So now, hatch gas pool, standard opener out of our Zerg player, probe does dip in. We should be seeing a standard opener out of Shameless. Now, when it comes to Shameless's style and how Shameless does perform, typically we expect to see some standard openers into the mid game. He's not really one to be too aggressive and too assertive early on. That's not really his style. More of a mid to late game kind of player here as he throws down the spray, as he sets up the Cyber Core. If you remember, he's known for his sprays. That's why we were able to identify Shameless early on in the Anonymous Cup. Like, as soon as Shameless appeared, we're like, no, yeah, it's Shameless. God damn it. Este Shameless. Just because of the sprays. It was now, I think 2 months ago. at this point. Este Crispy. Also, yeah, if you want to tune into the VODs are available on Twitch. The VODs are also here on YouTube. You can always rewind on YouTube as well. I don't think the stream went down on YouTube, so thankfully that has been perfectly smooth over on the YouTubes. If you want to check out the VOD. Otherwise, settling in. Stargate opener out of Shameless. Going for a standard opener back at home. Havertz shakes down or does take down the probe. Joining on up, claiming a start base. Oh no! A little bit off center here. The nerve's gonna be kicking in here for Havertz. Is forced to cancel. And rebuild. Okay, calm down, Bobby, calm down. Take a breath. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. As from here, Shameless has two options. You can go for an Oracle-based opener or a Void Ray. We're expecting an Oracle out of our Protoss player. Keep an eye on Shameless. As things do dip in, Oracle is on the way. Up. Gets a probe, not bad. Gets a worker, slips into the main, and it looks like he will barely get a glimpse of the tech. There we go, is where the Stargate, is where the Oracle as well. So nice scouting here by Havertz. Scouting. Back at home, spores are on the way. From here, droning on up, saturating. We are missing additional queens, though, I just realized. Only 2 queens, no 3rd queen, no 4th queen either, so a very low queen count here. Likewise, missing the spore in the main base. The longer this goes on, I mean, this Oracle can get a lot done. As there are limited queens and only the 1 spore at the natural, Oracle goes in. Yeah, it does see weakness, does go for the mid-run. You can see the double take. Like Shameless, he poked in, noticed no spore, noticed no queen. He goes back in, 4 drawing kills, nice damage with the first Oracle. Yeah, nice damage here from Shameless. Second Oracle's moving in. Behind this, Twilight Council, Gateway Explosion. Ooh, that is a bit of an earlier council here out of Shameless. We'll see if he throws down a Forge. If not, he could go into Glaives. As things they do hit the 3rd. Going for the pylon. The pylon is going to go down. Not bad. Takes down the pylon. Safety Roach Warren here out of Havertz. I say Safety Roach Warren. He might commit a little bit harder. As that ups, they do shade into the main. They get one drone, they get two. They're getting three towards the end. And Havertz is not droning. He's not droning. You can see here, 0 saturation as third base, limited saturation in the main. We have Lings on the way, we have Roaches on the way. He's going for the all-in. That now makes sense. So it now makes sense why the Roach one was so early. He's committing. For a moment, I thought it was just for safety, but no safety whatsoever. We're sending it. And Shameless really recognized what's going on. Gets Revelation. Hasn't really confirmed yet. Shield batteries on the way. Oracles are racing back home. Okay, just rotate through the center. And looks like he will come across the Roach as the ACs. He sees, he knows, he checks saturation. 0 joins at the third. Now he's fully aware. Now he's 100% aware what's going on. And he needs to come back home. Now, we need him back home. So here comes the Roach Ravager. Oracle's going to the main. I mean, I guess he can kill these drones. True. So Revelation. Here comes the army. And Shameless, I feel like he's been underreacting. Like, he saw the lack of workers, but it might not have clicked. Cybercore under fire. Letting Roach going for the Cybercore. Cybercore does go down, and no more Stalkers. Only Zealot reinforcements. And Shameless, he is in trouble. The Oracles, they race back home. They focus on the first Ravager. They get one, they get two, they're gonna go to all three. And that's target firing here out of Shameless. Very nice. Does target fire. Blink is done. He does blink back. Takes down the Zerglings, takes down the Ravagers, and Shameless holds. Ooh, Shameless, he will hold on. But again, a bit of a shaky defense here. He lost the Cybercore, he's losing some probes. He's going to be losing some Stalkers. But overall, Havertz does not do enough. He does not do enough damage here. He gets some damage done, that is true. But remember, he had no workers. He was undersaturated in the main base. He's on 31 workers. That's 1.5 bases, really. And he needed more. Needed more damage. He was all in. When you go all in, you're all in for a reason. There's just not much behind this to keep going. Shameless is pushing. Now, Havertz, he could try to maybe force a base trade or maybe force a recall back home just to buy some time. There is a chance for that. Lings hit the natural. Oracles, they turn back around. Lings, they do not get in. And Shameless, he's committing. And there's not much at home to defend. Lings are racing back home, though, thankfully. Lings are racing back. Catch up the Zerglings at the same time. Reinforcements almost put out as well. Oh, the stasis! No! The stasis goes off. It does catch all the Zerglings. Now there is nothing to defend. There's a couple of Lings trickling in. There's a couple of Queens that are pulling back as well. But he goes for the dive. Shameless, he will focus down those Queens. 1, 2, 3 Queens go down. Lings, they do get some decent service area, but that's what the Oracles are for. And GG gets called. Shameless, he will take aim at number 1. Whew. GG. Shameless, he will take a lead. I will say that he did underreact. It looks like maybe Shameless wasn't looking at the third base when he scouted, so he only had 1 shield battery at the third base. He had no shield battery at the natural. He had, I almost want to say, the bare minimum to defend, but he did defend. It is what's important. At the end of the day, he did defend. He raced back home with the Oracles. He focused down the Ravagers. He had good enough blink control with his Stalkers, and even though he bled out some units, it was acceptable losses there for Shameless. GG. Whew, GG, well played. And here we go. We're now getting into our next game. So hold on. I just realized that, there we go. Shameless does take a lead. Now we're getting into the second game. Sack the third. No, you can defend against those all-ins at the third base. It's all good. It's all good. You can pull off those defenses. I mean, it would be more secure if you had a bit of a stronger shield battery setup, of course. Don't get me wrong. Here we go. I think against a German taxi, you'd be more willing to sack the third base for sure. Like a more committed all-in. But here we go, we're getting into the next game, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the player for Little Fairies, leading the series 1-0. And one game away from advancing on to the next round. It is a Shameless. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself, representing Insane Master Killers from the land of Bolivia. It is Havertz. We go. And we'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can make a series out of this. Our eyes are going to be on our Zerg player here. Do we go for another all-in? Now, what I will say is that Incorporeal is a bit of a larger map, longer rushes, spike ground. I'm not too fond of all-ins on this map, but we'll see what Havertz has up his sleeve. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Sal, Gab. Thank you so much for the raid to Uppetry. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream, hope you had a great ladder session, hope you had a great time. And I have one question for you. I look at the bracket today. Hold on. Hold on. I look at this bracket. Where is Sal? where is my Sal, papi? Ay. Uppetry. But good to see you. Good to see you, papi. Hope you had a good time. Hope you had a good stream. Good to see you back. As for now, we have our initial openers. Shameless does get across the map, just forcing some inefficiencies here out of Havertz. Poking in, denying some mining time. Behind this, should be seeing a Stargate based opener out of our Protoss. As Havertz does go for his hatch gas pool and Queen production underway. Also, chat to get you in the chat. See Mr. Big. Salens VOD as well. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Buenos días, buenos días. Buenos días. As Havertz invests into Link Speed, does pull out of gas, so we're not rushing into any kind of early tank. Nothing crazy. Speaking of nothing crazy, though, I assumed it was going to be a Stargate. My apologies. Twilight Council. Twilight Council opener out of Shameless. He's being hyper aggressive here. Going into what? From here, he can go into Glaive Adepts, he can go into a Glaive Adept based opener, he can go into Dark Templar instead. Our eyes are going to be on the Protoss. Havertz is going in for the Scout, and the Stalker will not intercept. Yeah, the Stalker will miss. Overlord goes in, and Havertz, he will see everything. He will see the Twilight Council and the Rover. Big Scout here for the Zerg. Meanwhile, you can see only 2 and 2, so he does pull out of gas. So Shameless is going for Glaives. He's going into Glaive Adepts here. Otherwise, he would have stayed further in gas, which would be indicative of a Dark Shrine. Overlord's going to be hunted down. Once it is, then we can start those upgrades. As Glaives have begun. It's going to be 4 gate Glaives here out of Shameless. Bearing in mind, this is not an all-in. There are all-in variations. If you pull back into gas 6 and 6, you can throw down extra gateways and go up to like a 6 gate 2 base all-in. But from here, we're staying on 4 gates, which means Shameless does plan on expanding. Regardless, Havertz he at least scouted, and we should soon be seeing a Roach Warren. We should be seeing a Roach Warren in a couple of seconds. The longer this game goes on without a Roach Warren, the more I'm going to be a little bit concerned here for Havertz. Remember, he saw everything. Like, he saw the tech, he saw the lack of Stargate, he knows that something is coming his way. Ooh, he's getting safety spores. This is just in case it's going to be Dark Templar, but we need that Roach Warren. We're at 4 minutes, we should be seeing it. And if we're only going to defend with purely Link Queen, it's possible, but it's going to be difficult. Very difficult as he's droning up. I mean, you can drone up to 40. Evo Chamber. This might just be a misread. Havertz, okay, now he's walling up. He does fully wall off his natural. But I'm still very concerned. Bearing in mind that the Prism can just load up and go into the bases. Likewise, Adepts, they're going for the Queens. Remember, it's only Links to defend, so you can just fight the Links as well. He can kill everything. Yeah, oh god. He can just focus out the army. Instead, he's going for the wall. Going for another warp in, and there's just nothing. There's no Banelings, there's no Roaches. The Roach Warren is being focused down, so there will never be Roaches. That's a kill, not a cancel. And yeah, just a big misread here from Havertz. He saw the tech, he saw the opener, the Overlord saw everything he needed to. but the response was just not there. It was just not there. As these Eps have gone out of control. Prism taking a lot of damage at least, and the Prism does go down, but there are enough adepts. There's more than enough. GG gets called, and Shameless, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. GG, well played. With that, Shameless, he will claim the series, he will advance on to the next round, and my condolences to Havertz. He did well for himself making it this far, and hey, he had a spicy build in game number 1 as well, but unfortunately, again, it does feel like he either misread or underreacted to the tech that he had seen here in game 2, and with that, Shameless does overwhelm. GG. Does punish, I should say. Does punish. GG, well played. With that, Shameless does take the series, and with that, we're getting into the rest of our matches.